Oops.
Okay, I am ready.
All right, you wanna, oh, okay. Whenever you're ready. You wanna move so the light's not right on you? Yeah,
Okay.
that would be good.
GMOs bring to mind Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, in which the real monster was not Dr. Frankenstein, but Dr. Frankenstein himself. Regardless of how intelligent scientists may believe that they are, the negative variables associated with the practice of GMOs, modifying food, are inescapable. GMOs are not something that should be hidden from the public. It should be something that is readily available for the consumption of the public to contemplate and meditate upon. GMOs are a natural thing in the world that have been altered and are no longer natural. People have the right to know that what they are eating has been changed, chemically or scientifically. GMOs are more common than people realize. I shudder to think how large of a percentage of our food that we eat isn't even natural anymore. Considering that we have large farms and large buildings where cattle are grown, and you think of that, grown. Are you grown or are you born? That's kind of a concept. Okay. I will discuss a societal problem. I will also discuss satisfaction, which is a solution to the problem. And I will also visualize for all of you what the world could look like with that problem solved, or at least addressed. First off, there is a need for transparency and for the enforcement of laws when it comes to GMOs. The fact that the public's awareness has been blocked by the powers that be, the food industry, big pharma, or whatever powerful individuals that do not want people to know what is in their food or how their food has been developed. As I previously stated, transparency. Why is it that our food labels do not tell us whether or not food has been modified? Original thought derived by the Commission of European Communities. GMOs have become a contentious topic among small groups and a minority of scientists due to the fact that GMOs can reproduce, while pollutants cannot. What that means that suppose a modified organism was hazardous to the ecosystem, then it could just run rampant like wildfire and it could keep multiplying. Think of it in relation to being like a virus, where a virus can destroy the whole computer. Could you imagine a modified food that destroys the whole environment? Now, do I think that could happen? Probably not, but the possibility of that happening, very terrifying. Okay, sourced from Macmillan's Social Library, original thought. The concept of produce or meat being harmful to you, going to the store and purchasing sustenance, and then in turn, it causing you to be ill because it was not created in the right fashion. That's not a good thought to me. Okay, in some instances, people have been adversely affected by GMOs. Original thought, Church Chukwuma, African News Service 13. Word was given by a leader of Nigeria that modified food would not harm the people. That word was broken. There are also other groups that have put forth resistance to this. Barriers have been placed in Australia. Can modified food and organic food be compatible next to each other? There was an individual who lost his license as an organic farmer due to the fact that the purity of his organic produce was damaged by modified food. Secondly, need requires satisfaction. Satisfaction is a solution to a problem. Ultimately, this problem cannot be resolved until the transparency that is required to bring about equitable change occurs. As long as people are in the dark as far as this being an actual problem, the majority will be lukewarm at best. And this is tragic because food is something all life forms have in common and need to exist. Original thought, Craig Cheesley, Daily Camera, Boulder, Colorado. All food should be easily identifiable. We've had states that have proposed labeling, but imagine if the populace had actually voted this. It failed in California. If you have an entire country associated with the practice of labeling the food and making sure that it's transparent for the public to be aware of to what extent the food is modified and not modified, then it would be more efficient. But when you have individual states, there's so much bureaucracy, paperwork, it would be much better if the entire country, or countries, because it is a worldwide problem, were involved in making it known that food has been modified or not, and having it readily available for people to see on labels. Original thought, R3 Appleton, PhD, attorney with LA Live and Partners. The strongest case for labeling is that people have a right to know what they put into their body. Purchasers go into stores, putting their faith into these establishments that what they are purchasing is nutritious or will at least maintain their life. The thought that something has been modified, altered, well, that's not natural. Is natural healthy? And I think that's a big reason why organic food is so popular to a segment of the population. Because they know that things like ladybugs have kept pests from attacking the food rather than pesticides. Another satisfaction is that laws are increased or actually enforced. Original thought, Mary Beecher, a serial on the internet. The amount of land that GMOs have been used on, and the variety of them, does make it difficult. But governments are trying their best to make sure that they keep track of them and enforce laws across them. The government in Korea tried to enforce laws, but it was difficult because of business conflicts. But they allowed the populace to aggressively speak of the benefits of organic food. Third, when satisfaction is achieved, the world is always a better place when people are informed and equitable, agreeable change is made, and the world is a better place for everyone. People that are informed have the ability to make the choices that are right for them. They may not like the available choices, but at least they are afforded a choice. Consumers being able to make the right choices for themselves is a right that every civilized citizen should have. It should be an inalienable right to have the information required to make the right choice for oneself. Knowing that the government, when it chooses to be equitable in enforcing the laws, engenders trust in the population. And that trust is a good thing. I covered a need, I spoke of some satisfaction, which are solutions, and I also spoke of what the world would look like if these solutions were implemented. Lastly, there are many videos available on YouTube in which you could inform yourself of the potential dangers of GMOs. Just type in GMO or genetically modified organism. There's some full-length films, and YouTube is free with internet access. So there's no reason why somebody couldn't take the time, just watch for 15 minutes or a half an hour. Become aware that it's an actual situation. And in closing, if we don't demand transparency, then we are left in the dark, and we are complicit in our own ignorance. And when it comes to something like sustenance that allows us to be alive and healthy, it is something that everybody should take an interest in. Thank you.